Hello, the Deborah Woman. Welcome to another episode of the Deborah Woman podcast. How are we all doing? I trust that you're doing well and you've been following on our series on the Zelophehad daughters. The Zelophehad daughters, we talked about several things that they did, that we can emulate as a Deborah woman in this generation and in this season, right? Because these women, they were not just bold, they were audacious, and they knew the right source to go to. They knew how to reach out, and they went all out without holding back anything, right? Like Esther, if I perish, I perish, but my inheritance I must receive. And I know there's someone today that need to take those bold steps and say to themselves, and like, if I perish, I perish, but what is mine, I will take. My inheritance, I will take, because God has promised you, and then you need to reach out. Most of the times, all of the things that we are seamlessly crying out for, seeking for, and God has already given it to us. All we need to do is to stretch our hands, right? Is to stretch our hands and take that which is ours. These Zelophehad daughters, they did so amazing. They didn't allow what the culture say stop them. They didn't allow fear to stop them. They didn't allow what people will say stop them. They went all out because they knew what they wanted. What do you want? You need to ask yourself today, what do you want? What do I want for myself, right? Am I okay with the way that I am? Am I okay with the way things are going and all of that? Am I okay with it? And if this is you, like Zelophehad daughters, who were not okay with the inheritance of, that is only the male people that get to have inheritance of their father. They were not okay with it. They wanted a narrative to change. They wanted culture. They wanted to shift culture. They wanted to change culture, right? And they went all out to see that that happened. And if you're someone like that in that position today, this is an opportunity for you to stand out, to speak out. And remember, going to the right source. And you don't go to the right source without seeking the face of God, right? You go into your secret place, seek the face of God. God, what would you want me to do? I want to believe that the Zelophehad daughters didn't just stand up and like, okay, they wanted to take a step. They were in unity. The five of them, they had one voice. That was another amazing thing about the Zelophehad lessons from the Zelophehad daughters. They had one voice. They have one voice. They came together and they agreed upon something, and then they went out with all that they have to see that it happen. So we've heard all the lessons and all. There's another aspect of the Zelophehad daughters. It didn't just we didn't just finish those lessons and let it go. What is the essence of doing this? What is the essence of you stepping out? When you step out, others can see the light because you shine the light. Others can see a light because you shine a light, right? But if you continue to remain in the dark without stepping out, then you are pulling other people into that same darkness. The Zelophehad daughters did an amazing thing in that time, because why? Women were not apportioned any inheritance, and they decided to change the narrative. They decided to change the narrative. They decided to change the culture. They decided to shift things by going all out, by being bold and being audacious, and then other women followed suit. Let us look at the book of Joshua, right? After all this has been done for a very long time, then we now passed on to the book of Joshua. Let's look at that. Remember, this happened in the book of Numbers. The book of Numbers, that's when these Zelophehad daughters came and asked Moses for their inheritance. Now, fast forward to the book of Joshua. Let us look at the book of Joshua, chapter 17. The book of Joshua, chapter 17. Let's take verse 3. Verse 3 says, but Zelophehad, the son of Hesper, the son of Gilead, the son of Mesha, the son of Manasseh, had no sons but only daughters. Only daughters. And these daughters were the five Zelophehad daughters. Were the five Zelophehad daughters, right? And verse 4 said that they came near before Eleazar the priest, that's before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the ruler, saying that the Lord commanded Moses. They were trying to remind them of what God promised them in the book of Numbers, right? That reminded Moses to give us our inheritance among our brothers. So one thing you stepping out and you being audacious and bold does for you is that it brings about a shift. It brings about a different culture and narrative. It changes things, right? And in your light, others will see light. Because these women stepped out, others could see light. And it didn't just stop there. They can always go back and hold God by his words. Remember, they were like reminding priest Eleazar of what God promised them through Moses. Through Moses. So you can always go back to remind God of his word, of his promises to you. So these are amazing lessons that we learned from the Zelophehad daughters. I believe you've been following through on our Zelophehad daughters stories, and I believe you've been blessed in one way or the other. Until we meet in our new series on the Deborah Woman podcast. Bye for now.